This is Aussie Mac Zone. We'll cover everything Apple, including Macs, iPhones, iPads, and more. All this from an Aussie perspective. Sit back, relax, and insert yourself into the zone. The Aussie Mac Zone.
Hi everybody, welcome to show 345 Aussie Mac Zone. And again, Zarn, how are you tonight?
Fantastic, Michael. How are you?
Fantastic. Now, what about our Aussie Apple ramblings this week? Start with Google lead says he's disappointed with Apple new iPhone security program. Digital Trends, Apple's new hacker-friendly iPhone offer security researchers unrestricted access to devices so they can easily hunt down vulnerabilities and bugs. But Ben Hawkes, technical lead at Project Zero, a team at Google, tasked with discovering security flaws, says he's pretty disappointed with Apple's latest security program. Hawkes, in a Twitter thread, said that his team won't be able to take advantage of Apple's security research device iPhones since it appears to exclude security groups that have a policy to publish their findings in 3 months. Every time a security researcher discovers a vulnerability, they offer the company a period of time to patch it before it is publicly reported. Project Zero, like many security researchers, has a 90-day policy. However, Apple has kept the control of the timeline to itself, and developers who sign up for its new iPhone security program have to agree they can't disclose the issues they find until Apple allows them to. Which part of the reason is, like, yes, you want it out there in 90 days.
Yeah.
If Apple hasn't been able to, say, patch it within those 90 days,
Yeah.
because it's deep down, I've got to change serious software. That's why, basically.
Yep.
So I think, yeah, basically. But the security phones they're talking about is that they give them phones with even more access than you and I have got on our phones.
Yeah.
So they can get into root levels easier than what we do. And of course there's a link in the show notes.
I'm just posting because my phone is now on.
Yeah, good.
For people that have been watching since before we were, and so my phone's just turned on, so I'm now just saying, come and say hello.
While you're posting, Apple acquires more AI, as in artificial intelligence startups, than any other tech company. PC Mag reports Apple is leading the AI arms race by acquiring more artificial intelligence companies than Google or Amazon. But does that equal long-term success? The market for artificial intelligence has exploded over the last decade, while platforms such as Amazon's Alexa, Apple's Siri, Google Assistant and Microsoft's Cortana have dominated the market. These companies have not been the source of that growth. Instead, stiff competition between the biggest corporations has led to aggressive acquisition of AI startups, which puts the price up, of course. The market for artificial intelligence has exploded over the last decade, while platforms such as Amazon's Alexa, Apple's Siri, have dominated the market. These companies have not been the source of the growth. Instead, stiff competition between the biggest corporation has led to aggressive. According to data compiled by CB Insights, there have been a total of 635 artificial intelligence acquisitions between 2010 and 2019. Pardon me. Those purchases also increased 6 times over from 2013 to 2018, with 166 acquisitions in 2018 alone, a 38% increase year over year. For companies like Apple and Google, the rest of these purchases can always be linked back to a new product or a feature. Leading the charge is Apple with 20 acquisitions since 2010, when it bought Siri. As an example, tech giant acquired various technologies and voices to improve speaker recognition of its voice assistant platform. Apple has also bought companies including Percepio and RealFace to develop its Apple ID technology. Google had 14 acquisitions, Microsoft 10, Facebook 8, and Amazon 7 over the same period of time.
What's that? So why has Apple had more?
Because they... part of it, I think, is to do with the security.
Yep.
They're trying to do everything on your phone as opposed to do it on their service or on your iPad or whatever. And I think that's why they're sort of getting people that are specialised in that one little bit as opposed to the big back-end stuff.
Yeah.
So, no gaming this week?
No gaming this week. I apologise for that. I've just been flat out and I haven't had a chance, and I don't want to, review a game unless I've actually had a chance to play it properly.
That's the right way we do it here.
Yeah.
So what about now? Karen and I watched this the Tom Hanks movie on Friday night, Saturday night, one or the other. Can't remember now.
Was that Greyhound?
Yeah.
Yeah. How was it? Yeah.
Give it credit. It was good. Kept us quiet for a couple of hours.
Excellent.
Yeah. And it's just about one trip across the Atlantic for at the beginning of the war, but they lost 3,500 ships during the war just going across the Atlantic.
Wow.
Let alone the people, like 3,500 ships. It's amazing when you think of it. There's all those wrecks at the bottom of the ocean there.
I reckon.
Crazy.
Lots of natural reefs. Lots of artificial reefs.
Yeah. So you want to read?
Sure. Yeah. So, Apple Eyes new streaming strategy after Tom Hanks' drama breaks records. Fast Company reports World War II epic Greyhound gave Apple TV Plus its first bona fide hit. Now executives are looking to double down. Insiders say finally making Cupertino a player in the... Hey?
That's where Apple are. That's the town that Apple are in, Cupertino.
Cupertino?
Yeah.
A player in the streaming wars. According to sources familiar with Apple's thinking, the success of Hanks's World War II drama Greyhound, which he both wrote and starred in, has categorized Apple's ambitions in feature films, which are now being amped up to almost Netflix-like levels. Wow. Going forward, one source says the streamer is discussing plans to release 12 new movies a year on Apple TV Plus. Roughly one a month. So 2 to 4 of these would be blockbuster type titles such as Greyhound and Emancipation. The runaway slave thriller starring Will Smith and directed by Antoine Fuqua, Training Day. Apple recently acquired for $120 million in a bidding war with Warner Brothers, Universal, and other studios. Another source had fewer specifics, but confirmed that Apple is telling Hollywood that it's now in the market for more tentpole-like feature films. There's more of that in the show notes. I think it's a great idea. I did get a chance to finish the first season of Mythic Quest.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the special yet.
Okay.
But I did see the last episode, and wow.
See?
Just brilliant. Just brilliant. I absolutely loved the ending of the season. I thought it was very well done. It was very smart. very funny, and quite clever. Just like ingenuity wise, like it was very thought through. I enjoyed it.
Good. Yeah, so just you need to watch the special now because it is worth watching.
Yes, yeah, I just haven't had a chance. I'll probably watch it tonight.
Yeah.
Actually, what's the time? No, I won't. That's a lie.
It's all good.
I will probably watch it either tomorrow afternoon or Wednesday. Yeah.
Now, Apple TV gets free access to classic and contemporary artwork with N-Plug Art. 9 to 5 Mac tells us Apple TV includes a nice variety of gorgeous screensavers. But what about if you want to display more traditional artwork on your TV or another display? Today, N-Plug is launching a free new service that brings the work of thousands of artists to your home or business. Using a TV as a digital canvas for artwork when not in use has become popular over the years. Samsung has even created an accessible product line out of the feature with the Frame TV series. Now digital signage software company N-Plug is looking to bring that functionality to its paying customers as well as making free to the public with N-Plug Art. The company detailed the launch in a press release today. N-Plug, a leading cloud-based digital signage software provider, today announced N-Plug Art, an initiative to collaborate with contemporary artists and some of the world's some of the world's most notable museums to bring more than 1,000 works of contemporary and classic art to internet-connected displays and TVs. This is the first of initiative of its kind to bring professionally curated classic and contemporary art into established AV networks in corporate and academic settings, as well as smart TVs in the home. So it's just an app you download for your Apple TV.
Yeah. Yep.
And you can start looking at other artwork instead of just your normal screensavers.
Yeah.
But
that's really cool.
So you can look at your home video, your home movies that are kept in your photo library.
So I think that's good. You've done. I really like what you've done with yours.
Yeah.
It's probably my favourite display so far is what you've done. I think it's really clever. Every time we're over, I enjoy watching it even.
Yeah, and we keep putting more in there. So
yeah, you do, and then I think.
And all we've done, people, is I've just got heaps of family photos from like the 50s through to now. Yeah,
and actually, Dale, if you're still watching, it'd be really interesting for you because what he's done is taken, like he said, all the family photos over, like from the 50s right till now. They're all sort of mixed up together, and they sort of flip over and appear like a photo album would,
that's just one of the Apple TV screensaver options.
Yeah, and but it's really nice. Just to look at the family photos while we're over, with our kids and obviously the grandparents and we all
like it.
Yeah, that's right. Even our boys, love it, and they get to see each other, and they're always calling out, "Oh, look, there's Mason and there's Hunter," and so it's quite lovely to watch. Anyway, Apple TV orders a new thriller series, Shining Girls, starring Elizabeth Moss. 9 to 5 Mac reports. Apple today announced it has ordered a new thriller series from Apple TV Plus called Shining Girls. Shining Girls you could almost reference that to Golden Girls. It's a thriller where the old ladies just kill other people. No, I'm joking. The show will star Elizabeth Moss, who you might recognise as the actress who plays the lead role in popular drama series The Handmaid's Tales, which is fantastic. I've only watched a little bit of The Handmaid's Tales, but I really, really like the premise of that. The series is based on a best-selling novel of the same name I'm sorry, people. I've a little bit of a cough. It's not COVID, don't worry. But I keep stopping because I'm trying not to cough. The drama follows Monster's character as a Chicago reporter who was badly assaulted in the past. She tries to trace down her attacker, although all current TV production is on hold due to coronavirus. So that's a shame.
It's the same for movies and TV around the world,
yep.
basically. Yeah.
Yep. Apple TV Plus is preparing a competitive slate for...
You right?
Yep, sorry. Slate for 21 and 22 as Hollywood work resumes. The company has announced dozens of TV projects over the lockdown period, including thriller Echo 3, the Justin Timberlake movie Palmer Suspicions, the After Party comedy, the After Party comedy, sorry, the Shrink Next Door. What's that? Sorry, what's that one?
Sorry.
Emancipation. Sorry.
And Killers of the Flower Moon and more.
Yeah. Apple is also gearing up to air the second season of its 2019 slate, including The Morning Show, Servant, C, Dickinson, and For All Mankind. Production of season 2 of most of these franchises were cut short by the pandemic, so we aren't expecting many to be released, including Apple TV Plus, Poster Child, The Morning Show, until sometime next year. However, Apple will be releasing a teaser trailer for All Mankind Season 2 this weekend at a virtual Comic-Con panel. Woo. Well, that sounds exciting.
Yeah.
I'd definitely like to get into that and see that.
Did I send you that? I think I did, didn't I?
You probably did. Actually, I think you did, yeah.
Yeah.
5 photo tricks to try with your iPhone while you're bored in quarantine. Over to Michael.
Self-isolating at home, there are 5 great ways you can keep your creative skills on point. So, 1 is make a creative composite, or 2, practice portraits, still life scenes, make a short film, and work on your editing. Now, there's a full how-to to do this in the show notes. It's one of CNET's things to do during lockdown. And it's really interesting. For example, like a creative composite is where you on your own, there might be 10 of you in the room, but just you, you know, one walking over there, one walking this way, one sitting on the lounge, one at the kitchen having a drink, just, 10 of you in the room.
Yep.
Just takes a little while to do. There's also like all the Zach, what's his name? Zach King.
Yep.
He has a monthly one where people send in magic tricks that he's done previously, for example.
Yeah.
And he gives away pins to the people that get shown. And if you get shown 3 times, you get a special pin as well, which is cool. To keep promoting it, it's good. Yeah, Zach King, very clever man.
Yes. So how cool is this one? Shot from iPhone 4 included in 2020 iPhone Photography Award winners.
Yeah.
The award winners...
The old camera's still working well?
Yeah. The winners of the 2020 iPhone Photography Award, or IPPA.
For which there's some pictures up on the screen at the moment for those lucky enough to see.
Woohoo. Have been announced today. This year marks the 13th annual iPhone Photography Awards, crowning dozens of winners across 18 categories, and one of the winning shots was taken with a 10-year-old iPhone 4.
The grand prize. Isn't it?
Sorry?
It's all about being there at the right time.
It is. the grand prize winner and photographer of the year award went to photographer Dimpy Barlotia of the United Kingdom. I hope I pronounced that properly. I apologise if I didn't. Of the United Kingdom for her image Flying Boys, shot with an iPhone 10.
Yeah,
you can see
that
this
up on the screen at the moment.
Yep, which is an excellent photo, by the way. Excuse me. You can see this image on the far left of the header image of this article as well. Sorry, I'm looking at the picture and just enjoying it. It reminds me of going to like Jelly Bean Pool or something like that, and you know, jumping off the rock there, and that's the sort of photos you would get from there as well. The grand winner, anyway, the United Kingdom for her flying image. In it, 3 boys taking flight from a wall into the Ganges River. Their expressive limbs flailing, the sky with both tension and exuberance. It's a wonderful photo. It brings back my childhood memories of doing almost the same things as much as possible through summertime, anywhere we could.
Yes.
We would sneak into apartment blocks and use their pools, you know, and we would go where Woodcroft is now.
Yeah.
For people that are in Australia and Western Sydney, where Woodcroft is now used to be a brick place called PGH. And we used to go into PGH on a weekend. You weren't allowed in there, but, you know, we were young teenage boys, and we wanted a swimming hole, and so we would sneak in, and there's this big old quarry that had just filled with rainwater over the years and years, and had plenty of high cliff walls that we could jump into the water and have a great time. So so that's an excellent photo.
Jelly Bean Pool up the mountains.
Yeah, Jelly Bean Pool, Ben's Basin.
Yeah, what's the one down when you get on Cronulla and go across on the ferry?
Yes. So at Bundina.
Bundina, yeah.
Yeah.
Another one there. Same sort of thing, yeah.
Yep. I love Bundina as well.
Jumping off the wharf at Manly into the
harbour. Yep. Oh, I used to love doing that. We used to get in so much trouble because by the time we were sort of 14, 15, you weren't allowed to do it anymore. And the guards would come and yell at you, but you'd get 2 or 3 jumps before they'd come around. And so you'd get the run and jump in, and then they go, you're not allowed to do that. We'd be like, oh, sorry. And then we'd often go to the beach. Also in the Royal National Park, Guatemala. Yeah. There as well. So, great photo.
Places.
Yeah.
And we've all done it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like.
Apple commits to being 100% carbon neutral for the entire supply chain by 2030. It's pretty big.
That's huge.
Apple's own operations have been 100% carbon neutral for more than 2 years and receive a UN award for this. But the company has today made a bold commitment for the same to be true of its entire supply chain by 2030.
That's amazing.
The company is promoting that on its homepage, calling it a planet-sized plan. Apple started working on greening its supply chain back in 2015, and VP Lisa Jackson provided an update last year. The company said its commitment includes boosting its use of recycled materials and recycling of discarded products so that carbon neutrality applies to the complete life cycle of Apple products.
Wow.
Apple laid out a 10-year roadmap, and there is more on the notes. So part of it is like extracting the rare earth materials from recycled phones, for example, and the latest MacBook is made out of aluminium from recycled. The latest MacBook Pro is made out of recycled aluminium from the phones, for example.
Yeah.
Like, it's just you know, and good on them. Thank you. It's going to go with the new ABC show, Fight for Planet A, because there is no Planet B.
Yeah.
So that's another good one.
This
Coming
is
to the ABC in Australia.
Yeah. So EU General Court overturns Apple's $13 billion Irish tax bill. The ruling from Europe's second highest court finds the deal with Apple with the Irish tax authorities was not illegal, as argued by the European Commission. Apple has been freed from paying, $13 billion in Irish back taxes for now, after the General Court of the European Union
annulled.
Annulled. I know what it was. I was just trying not to cough.
Yeah.
Annulled the decision made by the European Commission in 2016. The Commission 4 years ago ruled the deal with Apple had with Irish tax authorities was illegal, saying Ireland had granted Apple $13 billion in unlawful tax advantages. But the EU's second highest court this week said there was not enough evidence to show the tech giant broke EU compensation rules.
Yeah,
The General Court
rules.
rules. The General Court annuls the contested decision because the Commission did not succeed in showing the request's legal standard that there was an advantage for the purpose of Article 107-1 TFEU. The judgment says, according to the General Court, the Commission was wrong to declare the ASI, which is Apple Sales International, and AEO, Apple Operations Europe, had been granted a selective economic advantage and, by extension, state aid. The Commission's ruling followed by a 2-year investigation which found 2 tax rulings that Ireland issued to Apple substantially substantially, thank you,
and artificially
lowered the tax the company paid in the country since 1991.
Yeah, the deal saw Apple attribute all profits from 2 of its incorporated companies to a head office in Ireland, which had no employees and could not generate such profits, the EU said at the time. But, the EC, European Commission, said at the time. But they obviously couldn't prove that. And it's basically what every big company, the advantage of being a big company is you can say, I want to build a production area in Penrith.
Yep.
What are you going to pay me, Penrith? What are you going to pay me, New South Wales?
You
know, what advantage is there for me moving to New South Wales over Victoria?
Yeah.
Or what advantage is it? I can either build this car making plant in New Zealand or build it in Australia. What are you going to do?
Yep.
What's Australia going to give me?
Yeah. Belinda just said, do we think it'll happen within that time frame, talking about the 100% renewables?
About
the 100% renewables?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I think so too.
I reckon even earlier,
Bell?
probably.
Yeah, I think that because they said they already are in-house.
Yeah.
And so therefore going 100% renewable with the people they're using for, sort of supply chains, I don't think it'll be that hard.
For example, they're putting up a massive solar power array in Finland or somewhere like that to generate, even though I don't believe they've got a plant in Finland.
No.
But if they stop Finland using gas power, a gas-powered station,
yep,
whatever that Finland is putting out in CO2 emissions comes off Apple's China CO2 emissions, for example.
Yep.
Things like that. So, yeah. Now, this one I've chucked in at the end
Yeah.
isn't really Apple related. It's Australian related.
Yeah.
And yes, Apple do make face masks and stuff. We are aware of that, but
Yes.
I don't believe that's it. But I just thought people in Australia should be aware of this. So, New South Wales acts law that may have prevented COVID-19 price gouging in 2019. Now, abc.net.au reported, the rising cost of face masks and other essential medical supplies are at the centre of a push by consumer advocates to protect New South Wales residents from price gouging.
Yeah.
The potentially life-saving products, in increasingly high demand due to COVID-19, have been vulnerable to inflated costs as demand spikes. Laws to safeguard against price gouging that had been in place for over 70 years were repealed last year by the state government. Advocates have expressed concerns that the consumer protections were given away cheaply just before time Australians needed them most.
Yeah.
The market pressures caused COVID-19 have taken consumers on a roller coaster ride in 2020. At times, basic items like toilet paper, hand sanitizer and flour have been scarce or sold at highly inflated prices.
Oh, highly inflated prices.
Fights have broken out in shopping aisles, prompting the introduction of rationing. Medical supplies have also been affected, with one company charging $786 for a single box of face masks. That's not price gouging, I don't know what it is. Some of these chaotic scenes and shady practices could potentially have been avoided with a little-known piece of legislation, according to former New South Wales Fair Trading Commissioner Rod Stowe. So there is more to that story in the show notes.
Hand sanitizer, for one. Like, you used to be able to buy a little bottle of hand sanitizer, this big, from any chemist, servo, whatever, on a keychain. And, it cost you sort of $2 to $3.
Yeah.
And now you're looking at $7.
Yeah.
Like $7. The chemists are selling it.
I'll accept some of it, not all of it.
Yeah.
Maybe 50 cents.
Yeah.
Because they're coming out on planes as opposed to coming out by ship.
Yep.
Little things like that will add a little bit to it, but not.
Yeah, and I understand that the high demand, and so they're having to pay companies that would normally not manufacture this stuff now to manufacture it, and so therefore their wages may be a little bit different. So I do understand that sort of increase, but a $2 item to a $7 item. Seems a little bit pricey.
Yeah.
I think, a $2 item to a $4.50 item is understandable.
Yeah.
To
a certain extent. And there was, not on our list at all, there was one other thing that happened.
It is, Belinda. It is disgusting. I think it's robbery as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One other thing that happened was they call her
you need to add these people on your Facebook so you can see them talking. Can you see Belinda?
I can see Belinda now. That's right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool. Because you know Belle. It's the kids' godparents.
But, so there's Karen of Bunnings in Victoria.
Yeah.
Who went in and refused to wear a face mask and was yelling and screaming and carrying on.
I don't know if her name was Karen, but they call
her name
term.
wasn't Karen, but that's what they call her.
They call them Karens.
Yeah, Karens are the ones that causing havoc on.
Cause all the trouble and carry on. Did you hear that, Karen?
But so what the law is, I was just reading before we started the show. What the law is in Australia is if I'm the renter or the owner of a particular piece of property, doesn't have to be a building, but property, I can ask you to do, I can insist that you do anything for protection reasons
Yep.
that I deem valid. And if you don't want to follow my rules, I can tell you can't come in.
And now this is all, of course, within human rights advocacy. Obviously, anything that you are uncomfortable doing, isn't there. But wearing a face mask or safety gear, it doesn't even come into that.
No.
That should just be a no-brainer. Yes, you have to wear it.
The law says in Victoria you have to wear a face mask.
Yeah.
At the moment, anyway.
Exactly. So she's breaking the law there.
Yeah.
So that's a fine.
Yes.
And if you've seen the video, she says, "I don't accept I'm being arrested." You don't have to accept it. It's still going to happen, love.
Yes. Yeah. And then she also had on a...
I wish not that I've ever been arrested,
No.
but I wish I thought of that if I ever had.
the Facebook
Sure.
On a
Got me out of so much
Facebook
trouble.
profile or something she worked at one company, and that company said no, she hasn't worked there since December, and because they've been copping crap for saying, "Oh, this is how you bring up your employees." And she hasn't worked there since December, so like.
I just think it's insane.
Yes.
We're just doing it to save each other. Like we shouldn't be fighting amongst ourselves about our own safety.
Yeah.
Like
we had 30. I think we had 33 overnight in New South Wales.
Yeah.
None anywhere else except Victoria, which had 530.
Yeah.
That's why you got to wear a face mask.
Exactly.
Because that could have been 5,030 without face masks down there at the moment.
Yeah.
And there's people that have been. One of the new Thai restaurant ones, I think it was. The person got infected like 12 days ago.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't even know they were infected 12 days ago, but that's when they got infected.
Yeah.
And then they went somewhere like 10 days ago and infected someone else.
Yeah.
And I bet they weren't wearing a face mask. You know what I mean? But that was in New South Wales. So
it's so hard too, like working like in schools and things like that, because you don't want to scare kids.
No.
And wearing a face mask, and none of those kids are wearing them either, because they seem to be fairly safe.
Yeah.
And so you've just got to really got to be careful.
Well, I'm going to a sheep farm tomorrow. So I'm in the city. I'm going into the country to a sheep farm. I'll be wearing a mask while I'm at the sheep farm because I don't want to infect the people.
Yeah.
I don't want to have any risk of me, the city dweller, infecting the country people while I'm doing the work.
Absolutely. And that's exactly right. And this is what I don't get. The masks aren't for anybody else. Like, they're like, oh, it's my right. So what? Like, it's
my right that you don't make me crook.
Yeah, like, I just don't get it. Like, it's not about right or your rights or, you're invading my privacy or anything like that. We're just saying, please, for the good of humanity, please wear a face mask.
If you think we're invading your privacy, go home and stay private.
That's right. Exactly. There's more than enough apps and shopping online so you don't have to leave your house if you don't want your privacy invaded.
Yeah.
And so I think if you are out in public, please regard other humans with as much, as yourself. To treat them like you would treat yourself.
Yeah.
And if you're not wearing a mask, then you're a danger. So,
you think, you might not even know you've got it. You give it to someone else who happens to be a nurse.
Yeah.
Or someone working at an aged care facility.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, there's 20 other people that have got it. Like, just like that.
Yep.
Anyway, that's our little rant.
Yes, it is. It is. Well,
Thank you,
what
sir.
we're trying to say is, please be safe.
Yes.
We care about you all. Please be safe.
Absolutely. Our show promotion, the show links each week on our show The upload being
AussieMaxZone.com.au/AMZ345. Oh, 345.
Yeah, 345. We're getting there.
Five
There
more
you'll see 6
episodes.
weeks show notes. You can email Zarn or Michael at AussieMaxZone.com.au.
Either me
You can
or
search
him.
for us on Spotify, Google.
Anywhere you can get a podcast, we're at.
Yeah, do that and
Make sure you like us.
Subscribe to us,
and
please.
give us a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't forget to look on Apple News under Aussie Max Zone.
yeah.
And there you'll... but most importantly, thank
you.
our supporters, you, our listeners, the most important people.
All you guys. Every one of you out there.
That's right, even if I can't see you through your face mask.
That's right.
And the famous sign-off.
Yes. And remember, an apple a day keeps the androids away. All right. Please stay safe, guys. Take care. Bye.